and a very, very warm welcome along, everybody. Happy weekend, everybody. It's morning for some of you, evening for some of you, and probably afternoon for some more of you. I hope everyone is doing very, very well here on this early Sunday morning. At least it's Sunday morning for me now. I hope the audio levels are fine today. I've changed a few things about to try and fix the technical issues that we were having the other day. Now, I'm not sure if things are working well on Twitch, because we do have a separate output now on Twitch compared to YouTube. It's saying it's unstable, but then I don't know if that's the case or not. We shall have to see. So we are running another SuperMON challenge. Let us get to the SuperMON scene, and we will see exactly... Oh, I didn't realise that was still on this scene. I was using it for testing. And we will see exactly what we are dealing with. I have no idea what to call this METAGROSS. Welcome in Sora, Donald, Goofy, by the way, and welcome into everybody. There's so many people. It's hard to welcome you all, but welcome along every single person here. Stephen, we'll call it Stephen. Stephen's a good name. And now I haven't checked to see if the move tutors worked on this one. Let's double check. Yes, it does. Perfect. Had to double check there. So the learn set we've got is it's Gen 3 level up and TM learn set. This was initially a regular backport, but I have converted it to SuperMON, seeing as we are doing a lot of SuperMON. We are giving it a regular run though. Oh, in about 3 or 4 weeks time as a pre-recorded video, something like that. Middle of December, towards the end of December, is when its regular challenge run will be live. Now, I'm not sure if anybody is over on Twitch, but if anyone is on the Twitch channel, twitch.tv/trainersquidgy, and things go wrong, please do let me know. I know the HM Friends have a lot of uploads at the moment. As soon as the video is done, for SuperMON anyway, I'm just putting it as HM Friends only. That way, if there's anything wrong with the video, there's a bit more of a notice period, because I do skim through my own videos, but obviously not a big fan of watching myself back, so I tend to skip most of it. Now, as for the moves for this METAGROSS, I think Psychic is a lock-in. Psychic is going to be one of our best moves. We are starting with more than Takedown. They wimped out, though, with METAGROSS, didn't they? They gave it Tackle from, like, Gen 7 onwards. Or was it Gen 8? One of the gens. They wimped out. Earthquake is absolutely going on the learn set. It's going to be our answer for Jasmine's Steelix. And then we get to the other two moves. And I am thinking, you know, we'll need Ice Punch, because that will get us through most of Lance's Pokémon. And then for the last move, I'm going to go for Thunder Punch, because we learn it. It's super effective. Return is lies. Return is not on the set. Return absolutely should not be on the set. I'm just using an older version before I removed those. But on the one on the website, Return has been removed. Same with Hidden Power. Hidden Power's probably on this list, yeah. But I'm going to go for Thunder Punch. I realised in between doing the... loading the challenge for this one and putting it up on the website, I was like, oh, sugar, I've forgotten to remove Hidden Power and Return. So hopefully I put the updated version on the website. And yeah, Earthquake is just as good as Return for these challenges. I do need to get myself a little bit comfier. Those of you who don't know, I do suffer from a nasty condition that means if I stay in one place for too long, I get a massive lactic acid build-up. So I get in quite a lot of pain if I sit still for too long, and I've been prepping stream. So I've been in one place for the last hour and a half or so. I'm glad you're showing support, but please do get some sleep, Gemma. I know it is very late, and you're a bit of an early bird compared to me, who's more of a night owl. My day is very young. I woke up at 6 PM today, had breakfast, and started setting up stream. Right. So we've got our moves. 4.5 hours extra work. Oh, that can bog off. We've got our moves. We've got both our outputs going. We'll take a look at our stats. Level 5 with 24 HP. Also remember to put the Pokémon number in on this one. We're holding a berry with Psychic, Earthquake, Ice Punch and Thunder Punch. 20 in attack, 19 in defense, just 16 in special attack. It's not... 16 doesn't seem right. Yes, it does actually. 15 in special defense and 13 in speed. Those are the stats of our Metagross. How will we get on? I do need to double check one more thing is working, otherwise we won't get... Yep, that's fine. Otherwise we won't get our title cards, and we want our title cards. So away we go. Now I don't think this is going to be a particularly difficult challenge. I think we're going to have a fairly easy time throughout on this one. So I'm not expecting many struggles, but I've wanted to run Metagross for quite some time here on the channel. And I thought, why not tonight? Yep, the punches will be working off special attack. We are Gen 2, so we're pre-physical special split. And I don't like having physical special split in my back ports. I find it takes away from some of the natural feel of Gen 2. And my anxiety's a little bit high today, so I'm going to take this one nice and slowly. 95 special attack is perfectly cromulent. It's just eclipsed by the 135 physical attack. That's the only thing. It looks small compared to what it's next to. I do also want to get title cards, actually, for the rival. I think it'd be nice to have him have his intro. Obviously, it's going to take a little bit of coding to make sure that we get the correct party, depending on which starter he has. But I'm sure I can add something into the code for that. Welcome in, GG. I hope you're having a lovely rest. And I hope you get very good sleep soon. It is very late for a lot of us. I know if Metagross could learn Amnesia, then we would be practically invincible. But as it stands, with how underleveled most of Gen 2 is, I don't think our defenses will be that much of a problem. I'm going to plonk Thunder Punch into top spot for now. Oh, I used you for testing. You're one of my test names, Kanbei. Because you might have noticed that on YouTube, we only have the YouTube HM Friends and Supers now. I considered Shadow Ball, but I didn't see any place where it would be beneficial, barring maybe the Xatu. Gen 1 Amnesia is so busted. This is 4 times speed as normal. Haven't changed anything there. Don't know why we're grabbing these extra potions. Don't need them. Were you trying to hack it with or without the badge boost glitch? Welcome in the Black Scats Pack. I am doing very well, thank you. How are you? That is a much more important question. Because if you were trying to hack in no glitch... Oh, that's the wrong one. Potions are muscle memory. It's good to stay... Good to keep the muscle memory. Oh, that is bugging me. Bear with just a moment. We're chopped off at the top there, and I don't want to be chopped off at the top there. There we go. Potions are very much muscle memory, yeah. There's no badge boost glitch in that sense in Gen 2. There is a glitch with special defense not being boosted if your special attack's within a certain range after Price's badge. But that is obviously a completely different badge boost. Completely different badge glitch, I should say. I think the Latties would be good in SuperMON. We could run those soon. We've already got their back ports. I don't think I've got the energy tonight to do a triple bill, but we can look at those fairly soon. Mudslap could have ended the run there. In one very specific universe, it could have ended the run. I know not having to run Psywave would be a very big boon for the Lassies. We saw it. I think it was Dan who requested Latias. Or Latios, I can't quite remember which one. And that start was not fun, to say the least. I know you don't check Discord too often, Kanbei. But if you are still in the Discord, I've got the code for Gen 1 Amnesia. And I'll plonk it in one of the chats at some point. It's a really nice and hacky way to do multiple stat ups. It's one of my go-tos. Because we use it for Calm Mind, we use it for Coil. I will pester you and tag you with it. You'll just have to deal with it. Whether you want to be tagged or not. And now I've got a bit of an opinion that I need from all of you while I've got you here. In one of the upcoming videos, we got to the red fight and I said a swear word. I said the F word on the final Pokemon of Red's battle. I currently have that video edited and censored where it's just a bleep where the F word is, but I don't know, should I re-record the voiceover so that I completely eliminate the swear? Or should I leave it in and censored? I'm in a bit of a quandary about it and I don't know what to do. If I leave it in, it's going to be bleeped. That is... Why am I earthquaking? That's guaranteed. I will put a warning as well at the start of the video. But one of the things I really want SuperMON to be is that raw, genuine reaction. And so if I swear in a SuperMON run, I mean, the Macargo video aside, because firstly, I'm not sure if all of you have seen the Macargo. I don't think it's doing that well. But I very much felt the swearing was excessive in one particular battle in the Macargo video, so I did re-record the voiceover in post there, and then posted the original voiceover as an unlisted thing in the description. But that, we were talking, it was ostensibly a swear bomb. It was effing this, effing that, and a couple of bitches. That's why I uploaded it uncensored. Welcome in, Hinodi. I can never pronounce your name because there's too many H's and my dyslexia goes no. So I always call you Pen Yellow when I shout you out. I hope that's okay. Welcome in, Pen Yellow. I also love your idea of candy jar battles at Red. I much prefer calling you Pen Yellow because that's what I knew you as from the beginning. It's just YouTube has decided to display different names for people now. I love the name Pen Yellow. I exploded more than I have done in any other challenge run I have ever done on the channel. I reckon as a special stream, when we've got a bunch of the Pokemon all done, it'd be fun to just have like a Red battle montage of like back-to-back-to-back Red battles. METAGROSS does have an awesome shiny. I've always wanted to play Plants vs Zombies, but I've never ever gotten around to it. Is it worth a go? We are doing things, and the things will be done vaguely successfully, but it is me playing. So, take nothing for granted. I'm not the best player in the world. Far, far from it. I want to get more into variety content again on Twitch. Because, you know, I want to put even more work on my plate. So Plants vs. Zombies could be a good shout to try at some point. Oh, don't EA have a habit of really just ruining a lot of fun stuff? Thank you for holding on to the faith on my behalf, because I won't ever have faith in myself in these challenges. I've made far too many silly mistakes. But it's part of the fun, isn't it? Let's grab some super potions. I've heard good things about Expedition 33. My trouble is I'm so bad at, like, processing and reading comprehension that any game that's deeper than a puddle, that requires a lot of reading, just goes straight over my head. Although I do have quite a backlog of games. I have, like most people, I have a habit of buying games and then never getting around to playing them. Well, I've got Cyberpunk and Red Dead Redemption 2 on my PS5. Bought them in a sale, never opened them. They're just sitting there taking up hard drive space. I suppose SSD space, isn't it, on a PlayStation? Right, we're going to get our next point now. I did play Legends ZA. I really enjoyed it more than I thought I would, honestly. I was one of the naysayers that thought it would be pretty bad. I think Stephen will excel as well. Mine, I started on Switch 1 and then upgraded to the Switch 2. Because I couldn't deal with the loading times on Switch 1. Now, I purposely used Earthquake there to see roughly where our attack is. It's little things like that on SuperMON, because I'm not having to go as quickly as possible. Can kind of get a rough gauge of what the numbers actually mean. I loved my Saturn. I know that it was slow. I know that it had no games. But Clockwork Knight 2 was such a fun Saturn game. Bugsy's next. Once again, zero issues with this gym leader. Up to 9 points. I think it's one of those. ZA is not going to be for everyone. But if you enjoy the gameplay loop, you'll have a lot of fun. If you're nonplussed about the gameplay loop, it will feel a bit repetitive. Welcome in, League TV. I hope you're doing very, very well today. I've heard a lot of good things about the Digimon games. But Pokemon's kind of the only RPG type game I really ever got into. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Sorry, Donald Goofy, I've not played any God of War games. Thank goodness for that. I thought the alerts were broken for a second then. I never had a PS1. I'm very limited with the games I play, mostly because I'm forever playing Pokemon Crystal at this point. But I really should branch out at some point. I think that's partly why I want to do more on Twitch. It'll force me into playing more games. I think Sega Saturn is one of those consoles that, if they hadn't completely rushed it, it probably would have been a very good console. But I'm fairly certain I read somewhere that they moved the release date to ostensibly now. And a lot of shops were not happy about the release date being moved. I also had Athletes Kings on my Sega Saturn, and that was a lot of fun. It wasn't good, but it was fun, if that makes sense. Now I'm trying to think of important items we'll need to pick up on this one. Sleep well, Gemma, thank you for popping in. I'm sure we will catch up in the daytime fairly soon. So I think we'll need to get the magnet at some point. Soft sand could be useful. We'll get the Nevermelt ice just by virtue of going through the ice path. Can't get the twisted spoon. Might pick up the quick claw, though I'm not sure we'll need it. I keep meaning to give XD a full try. Never got through to the end. I did love Colosseum, though. There's our Rentalabra. That will teleport us back to the Pokémon Center. Yeah, I feel it's one of those games that does need the speed up. The only way you can get Twisted Spoon in Crystal is by trading in an Abra from Yellow. And I don't feel like opening up Yellow and then trying to figure out a way to trade them. Oh, we are agonizingly close to level 20. I've got to be honest, I can count probably on one hand the amount of films I've watched. Yeah, the game hook method would work. But that would be cheating. More so than we already do in these challenges by setting our DVs and stuff. And of course, by having all of the moves that we want instantly at the start of the game, let's now take on Whitney. Normal type specialist leads with Clefairy that slaps us twice. The cow outspeeds, but it does 1 HP of damage. Kind of shameful, Whitney, that your Clefairy did more damage to us than your Miltank. If Metronome got Sacred Fire, I would be a little bit annoyed, but it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. I've vaguely heard of K-pop Demon Hunters. Couldn't tell you anything about it, but I have heard of it. Which is more than most things, I've got to be honest. Now we are going to have to do the double up here. We're going to have to go forward and then come back to go forward again. But we want to make the most of our experience points. But I am actually going to choose to take on Juggler Owen today. I want to get that speed stat experience from his Voltorb. Miltank would definitely be an interesting choice for a SuperMON. Although I feel without Return and just relying on Body Slam, there will probably be a choke point around about Lance. I do bloody love the small fudges you get in Miniature Heroes. Also showing my age there by calling it Miniature Heroes and not just regular Heroes. Do you remember, it was, what, the late 90s, early 2000s, when, I think it was not Cadbury, Mars, that's who makes Celebrations, took on Cadbury by launching Celebrations as competition for roses, and then a year later, suddenly at Christmas, Cadbury had Miniature Heroes to try and claw back some market space again. Cadbury sponsored Corrie in the late 90s. I think it was 97, 98 when sponsorship was started to be allowed. We do still have the starter berry. I'm going to see how long we can hold on to it. Yeah, the boxes are the miniature bit now. Do you remember when it used to be like a kilogram box of mini chocolates? Now you're lucky to get 550, 600 grams in them. And they cost more. I think we'll go full PP up on this one as well. We'll grab the third Jotonian one, because I want to PP up both Psychic and Earthquake for the league. $2 kilograms for a tenner ain't too bad, really. You're on vacation until Tuesday. That sounds like a lovely, lovely long weekend. And for a lot of you in the United States, isn't it a 4-day week coming up next week? Because isn't Thursday Thanksgiving? I remember on a school residential trip, we went to a place, and don't giggle at this because it is a funny name. We went to a place called Hawes End. And their tuck shop there sold out of date chocolates. You're on holiday until the 8th of December? It's alright for some, isn't it? Now, what vitamins should we get to get us started? A lot of places give Friday off as well. I'm very glad at that. It's spelled Haws, and a tuck shop's a teeny tiny little snack shop built into a building. It's ostensibly a hatch that sells sweets. I think we'll get 1 protein and 1 calcium. I do want to focus on calcium for the special defense, but I think 1 of each for now will be good. Good evening, Daniels. I hope you're doing very, very well today. Are we Daniels plural, by the way, or Daniels singular and it's added the S onto the end? Either way, let me know and I'll know how to address you correctly. I've forgotten the bloody squirt bottle, haven't I? Welcome in, Lord Cooler. It is currently 28 minutes past midnight. But I woke up at 6 PM, so this is kind of like my lunchtime. I've just had sausage mash, petit pois peas to be fancy, and broccoli before coming on air today. YouTube added the S. Well, I will remove the S, so I will call you Daniel. I reckon we'll be fine against the Dream Eating Drowsy Man today. And I think it's probably worth taking on these twins as well. Welcome in, D1. I hope you have a fantastic lurk. And if you haven't seen D1's latest video, what are you doing with your lives? An Ash Nuzlocke. Absolutely brilliant idea. I am very glad you're catching another live as well, Chad. You've been up since 4 o'clock? Bloody hell. Make sure you do get some rest at some point, Daniel. Sleep is very, very important. I'm the same, even though I know that double battles aren't in Gen 2. If I see the twins, I think, yep, gonna be a double battle. Oh, you had to work. That's no fun. At least I'm going to assume here that you're off work now, or if you are, it's still in work. At least you've got some time to do stuff for yourself. Got that bloody Jolteon down to 1 HP, and it survived. You're at home, your son's watching TV. I hope your son's watching something fun on TV. Is paranoidly a word? I am paranoidly checking the Twitch output, make sure that is still working. Gabby's Dollhouse. That sounds like a modern program that I have no idea what it would be about. But it sounds like it is definitely made for a child. Or at least I hope it is. I always get Bluey and Blue's Clues mixed up. And I don't know they're two separate things. But they still always get mixed up in my head. Grab the HP up. 16 strong PP. Should be fine for this gym. METAGROSS is fantastic design. We'll use our Thunder Punches here against this ghastly trainer. Try and save having to PP heal. I have heard that Bluey is one of the better children's shows. In the sense that they know that adults will be watching along. I was thinking about doing Mega METAGROSS as a backport at some point, but I just could not get the sprite not looking terrible. But if I get a little bit of free time, I'll go back to the regular METAGROSS backport and I will add Mega to it. I feel like the best kids shows are the ones that they know it's not just going to be children watching, so they add jokes and references that will go over the children's heads but are still funny. Do we one-shot the Gengar? Of course we do. Nasty crit there, though. I mean, it doesn't mean anything in the grand scheme of this battle as we get up to 21 points. To 20 points, rather. But still. Let us now... Where do we want to go? Where's going to be best? Double check. We got the raft. We did. Let's go east. I've never seen Jurassic Park. And I feel like it's criminal that I've never seen it, because it is one of the best films of all time. One of my very closest friends, Kim, keeps trying to get me to watch stuff with her as well. So maybe we can watch Jurassic Park at some point. She also wants me to play Disney Dreamlight Valley because I have no idea who any of the Disney characters are, and she thinks it'll be funny. Now there's a Pokemon that would be terrible for a SuperMON run, Lickitung. I'm going to give Lickitung a 4 moves run at some point though. And if you don't know what 4 moves is, then the first video is out on Wednesday. I've heard of G.I. Joe as well. Wasn't he the all-American hero? I think that's his tagline. Ooh, the fact that we don't one-shot that is a little bit concerning. Oh, we have to say yes to Lance, don't we? I'm familiar with Kingdom Hearts, but I don't think I've ever really got into it. There is something you can do, though. There's a little piece of software called Archipelago, where you can connect two games together, and one pairing of the games you can do is Pokémon Red and Kingdom Hearts 1. And you can do what's known as an item randomizer, but Archipelago puts some items from Kingdom Hearts into Pokémon Red and some items from Pokémon Red into Kingdom Hearts. So you have to work together and cooperate and communicate to complete both games. That send button is always far too big, really. So don't worry about accidentally hitting send a little too early. It's absolutely fine. I reckon the Smurfs would win. Just because they seem like the more persistent of the lot, really. No, I didn't want to surf again. I wanted to take on this Quillfish man. Strategically taking on a lot of trainers here. We're going to go and do Rocket Hideout straight away. And even though it's controversial, we will be getting the Glacier badge. Now, I don't mean to be mean about anybody who views the channel, but somebody had a right old go at me in a comment that has since been removed from the Bacargo video because I dared to exploit a loophole in the way SuperMON works, and I saved Chuck until 7th so that we could go in at level 40. And so now I feel a little bit uneasy doing this routing, even though it's the routing that I like doing in SuperMON. We're going to do price first anyway, because we make the most of our level cap this way. Because we should be just about getting to... Oh, shoot. We forgot to turn the thing off. Because we should just about be getting to level 30 by the end of this sequence. And then we will go to Chuck for number 6. But that will then let us have a lot more trainers where we can gain experience, as opposed to being at the level cap and doing a lot of trainer battles that are mandatory. And I would have been perfectly fine defending myself with that comment if they weren't so nasty about it. Who's Goku? I've heard of Superman. He's the one whose logo I blatantly ripped off for the SuperMON logo. But I'm not familiar with who Goku is. You'll have to excuse me, I am a bit of an uncultured swine. Password number 1 obtained. Are there any British superheroes? Good question. There was a BBC One sitcom called My Hero. It wasn't a very good sitcom, but there was a sitcom about a British superhero, but he was ostensibly a rip-off of Superman. Oh, Goku's from Dragon Ball. Now, I know of Dragon Ball. And I could be making a fool of myself here, but is he the bald dude in Dragon Ball? I think he's bald. I could be wrong. Or is he the one with the big hair? He could be the one with the big hair. I like keeping up appearances too. I was very sad to see that Patricia Routledge had passed away last month. Some people did actually call my grandmother Elizabeth Bouquet, because she was, in a lot of ways, very similar to Hyacinth Bouquet, bless her. Patricia Routledge was an amazing actor, though. Genuinely one of the best actors we have ever seen. Goku can blow up planets with 0 effort. Right, well, Goku definitely wins. What's that thing that Superman's allergic to? Is it kryptonite or something? If Goku can blow up some planet and find some of that, then I think Goku will have the win. See, I know things. Not many things, but I know some things. Well, I hope that Goku doesn't blow up our galaxy. Kind of fond of the Milky Way galaxy myself. Both as the place where we live and the chocolate. Although an American Milky Way is not the same as a British Milky Way. An American Milky Way is more like a British Mars bar. And then an American Three Musketeers bar is more like our Milky Way, or so I've been told anyway. Let's take on Price next. Annoying that that's a 3-shot there, but it'll be fine. I'm not a big fan of London, I've got to be honest. I find it a little too busy and there's a little too much hustle and bustle going on there. I worked there for a few years. In my late teens, early 20s. If you don't like people... Well, I say if you don't like people. If you don't like being in crowded places, then London is not for you. It is incredibly busy there. A lot of interesting landmarks, a lot of good museums. And a lot of generally good cultural stuff there. KFC in this country at least is franchised. So you can get some really good KFCs and then you can get some really stinky ones as well. It's a scythe and it will stay as a scythe because that was the first word that came to my brain when doing that HM item. And it can cut grass as well. I think. I think I coded that part in. Plenty of battles to be getting on with now as well. Very slowly edging our way up to the next level cap. Welcome back, Kanbei. Been talking about London. It tried to snow the other day, but now we're back to a more westerly influenced regime. I've stayed fairly close to where I grew up. I'm about 30 miles, call it 50 kilometers from where I grew up. Let's clear out a lot of the crap we don't need in this bag. The idea was initially that he's a phone number, but I like the idea of him just hiding in the bag. That's exactly what I said about London Cambay. It's too busy for my liking, but there are a lot of nice landmarks there. I was last in London, getting very, very, very drunk. Back in January 2012. I just left the casino, and I wanted to see all the folks there for one last time. And there was a pub opposite the casino, and a lot of people had a lot of breaks. So I was practically propping up the bar. That was back when I drank as well. I've never been to Belfast, no. I've always wanted to go to the island of Ireland. But I've never made it this far. I have been to the Isle of Man, though, which is halfway between Great Britain and the island of Ireland. The Isle of Man's lovely. It's like stepping back 30 years in time. I first went in 2001, and they literally just got their first Tesco, big supermarket, and first McDonald's on the island. Lovely place there, and there's a wonderful fish and chip shop called the Port Jack Chippy. They're one of those places that does proper fish and chips, but they keep the skin on the chips. I've not travelled since the pandemic, so I am well overdue stretching my legs again. I'm not going to read the message out, buddy, but I do completely agree with what's happened with that whole situation. There's no easy answer to the whole Northern Ireland situation. I think the best way to say why is just it's complex. It's a very long question spanning nearly a century, maybe even longer at this point. And it's one of those I am very much not in a position to understand or appreciate the complexities and nuances of the geopolitical situation on the island of Ireland. I mean, the agreement is... that was 98, wasn't it? And we're 2025 now. One-shot the Primeape. Crit the Poliwrath. No need to panic or worry at all. I think to get through all the complexities of the situation over there, you'd probably need a very, very long series. Because when you've... and I've only done it briefly, but I've tried to look into the history. And every time you go back, you think you're towards the start of it, and you have to go back further. I was due to go to Ireland, actually. Goodness, it must have been about 12, 13 years ago. My grandfather took a trip over there to see the Titanic, amongst other things, and then go into the Republic of Ireland. But I couldn't get the time off work, and I was gutted ever since. No need to apologise. Cans of worms will often be opened inadvertently. And the good thing I love about all of us here is we are mature enough and adult enough to understand how complex the situations are, and we don't just jump to anything. My grandfather went by ferry to Ireland, Liverpool to Belfast. And then I think he came back via Heysham as opposed to Liverpool. I do like that there's practically nothing in Heysham apart from a couple of ferry crossings each day. And Northern Rail, the railway provider for the area, does 2 trains each day, timing up to the ferry trips. We took the ferry to the Isle of Man as well, and I don't drive, but my granddad drove. And having the car there really helps us get about as well. Time for vitamin shop number 2. It's very much been an autopilot run so far, I've got to be honest. I've been more focusing on chatting than I have on playing. With that, we are now up to maximum vitamins in our attack and our special. So we can sell any more calcium and any more iron that we come across. Protein, not iron. Well, happy birthday to your father. I hope that you find somewhere nice to go. The steel type is very OP. I'm glad they nerfed it in Gen 6. Get some good stat experience off this Birdkeeper here. A lot of attacking experience from the Spearow line. So from Gen 6 onwards, you no longer have the resistance to, I think it's Dark and Ghost. Honedge was a monster anyway with the nerf, so I reckon you're right there. It was a very huge hit to Metagross. Perfect, flawless Jasmine battle. No need to worry at all about Jazz. Level cap's gone up to 30. We now have a level cap of 4. Level cap's gone up to 40 rather, and we now have 30 points. There's a very high chance we get to red in this challenge. We'll go through Ice Path and then it will be rocket time. I do also need a quick pee break. I forgot to pee before going on air today. And I know we don't need to, but I still always pick up the Waterfall HM. Just out of pure habit. Movement, please. Some of the worst movement I've ever had in the Ice Path here. It's practically shameful. It's muscle memory, but the memory's a little bit faulty. Or do you mean for the waterfall? At least it isn't timed. You're not wrong. We don't need that protein anymore. Don't need the max revive. Can't use it anyway. We do have Burger King in the UK. Not a big fan of their burgers, because obviously they're beef, so I can't eat them. But they do have very good nuggets. Talking of nuggets. Amazing timing on that. Red's Espeon has Mud Slap. Red's Espeon could screw us over if it wanted to. Yeah, exactly. Mud Slap is not what we want to see on the Espeon, really. We don't have enough money. Did we pick up any TMs we can sell? Yes, it does have Mud Slap. Very annoying that it has Mud Slap. We're going to be in and out of the Goldenrod department store quite a lot in this challenge. It does hardly ever use Mud Slap, but I don't think Red will see a move better for us than Mud Slap. Steelix will always go for Sunny Day if you bring out a water Pokemon. That's the AI there. I very quickly need to pee, so I'll be back in just a moment. Much better. I think it's probably worth actually now, because I'm not going to have another natural pause point in this challenge. It's probably worth thinking about Lance and Red at this point. I think we should be okay for Lance if we can set up with the Gyarados. I think I won't go for Thunder Punch turn 1 on the Gyarados. I'll go for Ice Punch. I might even... No, I'll go for Earthquake on turn 1 to try and fish out the Rain Dance. Because if we can exploit Lance's AI, that's going to greatly nerf Flamethrower from Charizard. So from there, we should then have a smooth ride because we've got Ice Punch for everything else. Blue, I think, will be fine with just Earthquake against his... Explosion would be a loss, yes. Blue, I think, will be fine with Earthquake. Will hopefully outspeed his Arcanine there. And then for Red, if we take a critical hit from Flamethrower on his Zard, I think it's over. But if we can get through his Zard relatively unscathed, we'll be fine. Sorry, just whacked the microphone then. Do we think it is worth getting the Ice Berry so that we can heal burns? Thinking about it. We could get the Ice Berry and hold it for the red battle just in case Flamethrower burns us. We will mostly be using special attacks, but we've got the Snorlax to contend with. And he'll send out the Snorlax after he has sent out his Charizard. I mean, we'll be 81 at that point, so we might even one-shot the Zard, and this could all be moot. The Ice Berry, I believe, is for healing burns, and then the Burnt Berry is for healing freezes. I will double check that though, actually. At some point. See, because I play so much Gen 2, I forget about the newer berries. Gen 2 berries were weird. They were good as an introduction, but it was definitely a case of early installment weirdness with them. There we go. Just over a third of the way through this benighted place now. We're getting there, slowly but surely. Time for Rival 4. Don't think he'll prove any issue at all. Start with a Psychic against the Golbat. Swap to an Earthquake for the Quilava. Carry on Earthquake against the Magnemite. Earthquake the Sneasel, one shot. And Earthquake the Haunter. Ground is such a good typing to have when the rival has the Fire type. And now we've got even more of these rockets. At least because we're in slow, we're actually making more progress to the level cap than normal. Normally by this point, we've well and truly hit the level caps. These battles are entirely meaningless, barring the pathetic stat XP they get. I didn't even really think of Meteor Mash, not because of the accuracy, but just because Still's not a great offensive typing in Gen 2. There's just not enough Pokemon we come up against where it would be super effective enough to bother with. Which is a shame, because I would have liked to have run a Still type move. We don't get the option to do it very often. Yeah, the attack boost is nice, but it's not reliable, and I don't think we need the attack boost for a lot of battles either. It's like trying to run Swords Dance on something like an Ursaring. You're not really going to make too much of a difference to most battles. Having said that, Swords Dance on Zangoose is very useful. I don't think I'm going to even bother running Zangoose through SuperMON because we know it's a SuperMON. You get it at level 10 normally, and we'll get it from Elm's lab. In SuperMON. I don't think I've updated the queue in a while. Let me double check. We're not currently accepting more Pokemon in the queue because we've got a lot. Should be our last vitamin shop as well. Don't have to come back to the department store. Feel like out of those we'll run probably Gardevoir next. And then we'll go back to the Gen 2 Pokemon. Might even do Gardevoir and Gallade together in one stream. Favorite Pokemon is always a very tough question to answer. Ursaring's always going to be up there for me. Alolan Rat's always going to be up there. Teddiursa. Beware. Love that Pokemon. Zangoose, obviously. There are so many good Pokemon. There we go. We can all wake up. The rockets are done. We'll have to see where the mood takes us when we get to Mew. Quick PP heal. And away we go into our final Jotonian gym. There is a very long list of moves for Mew, and I am very much worried about how I'm going to make Mew work on the overlay. Oh, that would be a scummy Mew set. Let's take on Claire. Oh my goodness, that's a range. Well, that could have been scary. I feel like we got off fairly lightly there. Seeing as we only ranged the first one. Grow the max elixir. One, 1, 2, 1, 2 yet again for this questionnaire. And Claire enters into the Dragon's Den. We are getting our final badge. We did just defeat the main villain. The venom that runs through me when I think of that cool trainer. Now, we will be off to the Pokémon League in just a moment. But there are a couple of bits and bobs I want to pick up. She did sell him the secret potion that day. If you don't know what we're on about, everything will be revealed in the Cargo video that went live yesterday. Get the extra Bitterberry. So we can run a Bitterberry for Will or Koga, depending on where it gets used. And we'll also have the Bitterberry then for Karen, not Claire. And then we'll get this extra rare candy. Then I think that's everything we want in Johto. So we shall leave. and head towards the league. Oh, what's the point in sleep powdering? You're doing no damage. You're just wasting everybody's time, Megan. I think a good dark type move would have helped. Taking our standard couple of trainers here. I like taking on Rena and the Psychic there. Reliable battles and a lot of good experience points. Now, will we get Cool Trainer Joyce today? No, we won't. Girafarig probably would struggle at Jasmine. We generally go for Hidden Power Fire to deal with Jasmine. So not having Hidden Power could really hinder us there. Although I think Girafarig learns Earthquake. Let's find out. Exactly, and no return either. I thought that was the command. Oh, it gets Flamethrower. Oh, in the set you've just made up. Doi. Yeah, Headbutt would probably be its best move. Or best normal move, anyway. A lot of the advantages for Girafarig are taken away in SuperMON because a lot of Girafarig's advantages are that it has a busted learn set at level 1. Strength is stronger, but it's only by 10 base points. And I think we'd need the flanches. The flanches? The flinches, rather. I don't know what the flanches are. Sounds kind of rude. I think we'd benefit more from the flinches than we would from just a normal hit move. Event Pikachu can learn Surf, but in normal gameplay you can't. Yeah, don't flanch people. Nah, they wouldn't get Surf when they run. Keep the rules consistent. It's just what the Pokemon can get in normal gameplay in Gen 2. Be it via level up, TM, or Gen 1 TM or Tutor. Right, now I think it's worth having a little think before we go into the league rushing in head first about the potential roadblocks. I have zero plans to touch the Raichu line anytime soon. Let me put it that way. Yeah, Karen could be bad with the RNG. She is, of course, a Dark-type specialist. So we will be wanting to hold on to some kind of berry there. I actually am a little bit worried about Will as well. He could chip away at us. I'm not sure our special attack's strong enough to get through a lot of Pokemon in one hit. Now, do we think it is overconfident to think that we can write off both Bruno and Koga? Is that overconfidence or is that reality? I think the worst Koga can do is get us caught in a confusion loop and maybe use his fortress as a bomb. Bruno, we've got everything for. We do have the Nevermelt Ice. We don't have the magnet. I knew there was an item I forgot to pick up and it was the magnet. I don't think I picked it up. I will double check. Yeah, we don't have the magnet. Now, we aren't against the clock, so we could go back to Johto, very quickly run into Ecruteak to get the magnet, just to be safe. But then, do we need it? We can use Ice Punch on the Xatu with the Nevermelt Ice, and that will be stronger because of Price's badge boost. But I think for a bit of insurance, I'm going to hold on to the Bitterberry. The Magnet could be good for the Zard, though. I mean, we are going to try and fish out a Rain Dance at Lance. But let's go and grab the Magnet anyway, just to be safe. Yeah, the Dragonite will all go down in one Ice Punch, regardless. That much, I think, is certain. No, it just so happens that Sunny is on Sunday for the day of the week. So that's just lucky coincidence. For the rest of them, there is, however, this bloke here at the top of every Pokemon Center who will change the time and day. Let's have a very quick look at our stats. Level 42 with 145 HP. Bitterberry with Ice Punch, Earthquake, Psychic, Thunder Punch. They're the 4 moves we chose at the start of the challenge. 150 in attack, 144 in defense, 116 special attack, 112 special defense. Just 94 in speed, though. Aerodactyl could technically Omniboost 5 times. And Perpetual Flinch with Rock Slide, but I don't think it's likely. Let's take on Will. How bad will it be? Psychic Type Specialist leads with a Xatu. Oh, he's not gone for Thunder Punch. Not Thunder Punch. He's not gone for Confuse Ray. Not gone for Leech Seed, but we did get a Spadef drop there. There's the confusion. He's healing looping, though. Well done. Oh, wait, no, not well done. There's a Jinx. For no good reason. Now well done. Second up, of course, is Koga. Poison type specialist leads with Ariados that will go down in 1. Fortress is next. Thunder Punch is probably our best move. Nice crit there. Another crit. That was a completely unintentional pun. Muck has minimized, but it's all over. Damageless there for Koga. Let's move on to Bruno. Leads with a Hitmontop, Psychic will one-shot. Up next is a Hitmonchan, Psychic will one-shot. Onyx, Psychic will one-shot. Hitmonlee, Psychic will one-shot. Machamp, Psychic won't one-shot. But we will two-shot. If he used Dig and he survived, we've got Earthquake. Taking 0 chances here for Karen. Now this could be the end of the run. There is a chance this is the end of the run. I hope it isn't though. We're through the Houndoom, that's good. Murkrow is meaningless. Gen 2 miss. That is really, really positive. Oh, she could Destiny Bond. Oh, no. Yes! Yes, yes, yes. Oh. Oh, that was too much. That was too much. We are through. I didn't want to try and go for a one-shot. Because I had a very, very bad feeling about Destiny Bond. She didn't go for it. But I was convinced she would. On to Lance we go. There's the rain dance that we want. A crit would have KO'd without the rain dance there. Oh goodness me, that's not a one shot on the 50. It's terrifying. And yeah, we don't see lucky misses too often at all. I forgot to candy, didn't I? That's why it wasn't a one shot. But there's nothing Lance can do anyway. Oh, Karen was definitely the hardest there. But we made it through. Thank you for popping in, Kanbei. Have a wonderful sleep. And we are at least going away with 64 points now. We are champions of the Johto region. I'm very glad the AI doesn't consider things like Rain Dance when it comes to the Zard being second. We can very much exploit that little loophole. In the AI. Oh, that is a very good point. What if Darren is a Lance's younger brother? No, I think the plan for Kanto will be to try and get through all the storyline. We'll do Nugget Bridge straight away as well. And then we'll just pick off the gym leaders as and when. Enjoy your dinner. Have a wonderful meal out, buddy. We've got Earthquake, so there's no reason not to do this gym now. Can't see the blooming soft sand. There it is. It's hiding from us. We'll do Surge first. Oh, we don't outspeed the Electrode. That's very annoying. Misclicks there. I'm glad it's double team and not sand attack there. But we can one-shot everything else. How many candies do we have left? 3 rare candies. We can make that 5. So when we get to level 53, we'll just candy up to 58. That sounds like a plan. Thinking about it, I reckon Misty might be one of our dangerous gym leaders, you know. Because her Lapras has Perish Song. And we really don't want to go down to Perish Song of all things. Erica will be an easy gym leader, so we might do her fairly quickly. Janine's obviously going to be pathetically easy, as she always is. Help if we repelled here, wouldn't it? Generally how we prevent the encounters. Still weird going through Rock Tunnel in the light again. Done it in the dark for so long. Well, I say so long. Like 10 challenges. Maybe more. I always want to escape rope out of here. I think you can escape rope out in Gen 1. And yeah, we'll take on Erica, because she's kind of out of the way. It should be fairly easy experience. Trying to think of other good ground types we can run as well, because I think Earthquake will inevitably end up being the return of SuperMON. So if we can find some good ground types to run, we might be able to get more SuperMON across the line. Oh no, sunny day when you don't have a fire type move. Whatever will we do? Get some more easy experience now, courtesy of Janine. This is just going to be hold A to win. There we go. On Nugget Bridge, we'll get up to 53. Machine parts acquired. Don't need to think about that anymore. I really don't like Nugget Bridge. Said it many, many times, but this Nugget Bridge feels more tedious than the radio tower. Because we're in the post game, we just want to be in go mode now. Might as well use up some Thunder Punch PP. Give it a bit of an outing. And there we go. Nugget Bridge completed for another run. So we'll go back to the power plant now. Get ourselves Zap Cannon. That move I was actually considering. It's not reliable, but it is fun. One expansion card. And one pesky Snorlax. Now, because it is SuperMON, we will take on 3Drill, friend of the channel, and his lovely 3B Drill. And today we've got a super effective move for them. Makes the battle nice and quick. And with that, let's go into Brock's gym. I don't think he'll be any issue at all. We've got Earthquake. And we've got Ice Punch. And he doesn't really have anything for us. Simple as 5 one-shots to get rid of Brock. Boulder Badge acquired, up to 76 points. Really overshot that grass there. If that was a timed run, I'd be very annoyed with myself for that. We're now at Blue's level cap, so the rest of the trainers will be no different regardless of which order we face them in now. But Blaine is local, so we'll take him on. Fire-type specialist, of course. Leads with Macargo, quad weak to ground. Poor Macargo. Bumhead Fire Duck goes down as well. And we will dispose of the Rapidash. 1 Volcano Badge acquired. 2 gym leaders left to go. Well, 3 including Blue. But Blue is a special case. We save him till last. So this is Sabrina. Psychic Type Specialist, of course. Leads with Espeon. Let's hope that Earthquake is enough to one-shot the Espeon. It is. That means it should one-shot the Mr. Mime. Mind Reader and the Oko moves would be very fun. We have disposed of the Rapid Misty now. Well, we've disposed... Where the hell am I going? We have disposed of the Rapidash. We disposed of the Rapid Brock. We've disposed of the Rapid Sabrina. Even though she wasn't a travelling companion. And now we will hopefully dispose of the Rapid Misty. Goodbye Golduck. Goodbye Quagsire maybe? Yes, goodbye Quagsire. Don't perish song. Thank you. We're safe now. So we get ourselves up to 85 points. Which means there's only Blue to go for the gym leaders. I know. Wouldn't it be terrible if we lost a run to Destiny Bond? Hypothetically, if that happened in a run that's been released to HM Friends, I would be devastated. Thank goodness it hasn't happened. Oh, Blue side. Should be fine. Hopefully. Maybe. Who knows? We'll see. Leads with Pidgeot probably got nothing to one-shot this thing. Whirlwind fails. Oh, bloody hell, he swapped a ride on. And we've been leech seeded. This is not great. We have, however, frozen the Executor. I'm trying to avoid Pokemon, at least at the moment, who'll get completely... Oh, bloody hell, that's not a one-shot. Shoot. Panic stations for a quick moment here. Please one shot, please one shot, please one shot. Oh, we're through blue. Yeah, I'm trying to avoid Pokemon that we know won't do well in SuperMON. So, we've got that new 4-move series, which is kind of halfway between a timed run and a SuperMON run. To run a lot of the lower base stat and poor coverage Pokemon. So like our starting Pokemon with that one is Sunflora, which would be bodied by SuperMON. So we allow Hidden Power and Return in that series as well. No spoilers please, but Sunkern did do very well for itself in SuperMON. We will say no more until the video's out. Although, if you do want to see what we're talking about, you can always join the channel membership and become a HM friend. There we go, I'm a good YouTuber. I've done the plug for the membership. I never bothered doing it on stream because I find it a bit too desperate. All will be revealed in a SuperMON challenge, that's all I'll say. Now, YouTube, I'm going to go to the thumbnail. Is anybody on Twitch? So I know Twitch is quite quiet today. Twitch, you are going to have to deal with flashing, unfortunately. Because I do need to get up to the level cap. But I know it can be kind of painful to see. There we go. Candied up. Excuse me, a bit of an inside hiccup there. So let's check our stats now. So we're outspeeding the Pikachu, we know that much. Quite good stats across the board. I think we should hopefully one-shot the Pikachu. Well, we will with Earthquake. Espeon, if it sets up a Reflect, could be pesky. I don't know whether to hold on to a Berry or the Magnet for the Zard. I don't know if the 10% boost will make the difference. But the Zard is the only Pokemon I'm worried about. That and maybe Reflect on Espeon. But there is no time like the present. Let's take on blue. Red, not blue. We get rid of the Pikachu in one shot. That was always going to be guaranteed. We one-shot the Espeon. Oh, Flamethrower does a lot of damage. Please go for Amnesia. Right, we are guaranteed to get through this Snorlax. No need to worry about Body Slam. We've got Psychic for the Venusaur. Then I think it's Psychic into Thunder Punch. And we win. Oh, would you look at that. We have a SuperMON on our hands. And it's not a great surprise. But it is nice to see now. It's the 23rd today, isn't it? At least here in the United Kingdom. Make sure there are no spoilers on that leaderboard. And so I've put it in second place on the SuperMON leaderboard. I don't think it was quite as smooth as Slacking's run through. Yeah, the level 81 does definitely help factor in. I did ask a few videos ago whether people wanted me to drop it to 78, but the consensus seemed to be no, his highest level Pokemon's 81. So we go with whatever Red's highest level Pokemon is. But yeah, nice little run that. Happy with that one. Couple of scary moments that I wasn't expecting, but we made it through. And overall, had a very, very good time. Now, one thing that I do have going... Oh, I didn't have it going for this one. Normally I have the timer running to see how long the challenge has gone, but I didn't have the timer running for this one, so we can't see. But that is METAGROSS, and we can, in fact, call it a SuperMON. So we have ourselves 100 points. We have ourselves a SuperMON on our hands. And I am very, very happy with that one. And I think I'm going to be sensible here and I'm going to call it now. Just do the one run today because it is getting close to 2 o'clock in the morning here in the United Kingdom. And I probably should try and get a bit more rest again. But it has been an absolute pleasure to be with you today. If my sleep is still like this, I'll be back tomorrow, probably with something like Gardevoir Gallade. I'm not quite decided yet. We'll figure something out, or I might do the Lassies. But please do subscribe if you do want to be notified of the next stream. Thank you to everybody who's come out on stream today, and thank you to Sorrel Donald Goofy for the $2 super chat. It is greatly appreciated, of course, never expected. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your days, evenings, nights, whatever time it is for you. And I will catch you all very, very soon.